Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw for Insider Travel Videos, and I'm here with Matthew Unchurch, who is Chairman and CEO of Virtuoso, the luxury travel network. And Matthew, we're just finishing off Virtuoso Travel Week, and you've had a lot of announcements for your members and a lot of new programs. And I wanted to sort of start off with the biggest thing, which is actually Virtuoso Travel Week itself, which has made some dramatic changes this year. Tell us a little bit about what's going on and what is new this year.
Well, I think that, first of all, we outgrew the Bellagio. We
saw that last year. You were in the hallways.
We were everywhere. We had a record number of attendees, nearly 5,300 from 98 countries. We started with 98 people 28 years ago, and now we're in 98 countries. And what we've done is we've done campus-wide at City Center, so we now had ARIA. We created our own transportation system. But really the other major thing is we started this with 20-minute appointments with an appointment matching system. And over time that evolved into what we lovingly call the largest conga line you've ever seen, right?
The speed dating line.
Which was designed to optimize the number of contacts. But what we did this year is we actually broke it up. We actually had the 4-minute speed dating in the morning, which allows people to be able to meet as many contacts. And then in the afternoon, we developed a new system to do appointment matching amongst the suppliers and the partners and the advisors. And we're getting fantastic feedback. So we've got a bit of the best of both worlds, which is something you can do when you have this scale, right? Yeah. When you have 5,300 people, it allows you. The other thing that's really amazing, James, is that, in fact, it's funny that we had never even asked the question until last year. When we knew that we were going to go to multi-campus this year, there's a lot of, not only do we have the appointments all day long, and then the big whatever, but there's the events within the event. And
the communities, I think you call them, which the Virtuoso Active and Specialty Travel was kind of one of the first, and now you have more, right?
Exactly, and so I remember probably the most visual one that I remember that kind of brought it to mind was that on one side of the Bellagio pool we had the cruise white party. Everybody dressed in white. On the other side of the Bellagio pool, we had the Travel Week Sao Paulo Latin America party. So one of the other things about this is that with a new space, last year we finally asked MGM, and those are just the ones that MGM knows about, that MGM, they're things that are not being done by MGM. So last year there were 539 separate events within the 6 days. This year, with the expansion to ARIA, over 750.
Wow, and I think I've seen you at all those events too.
I try.
Yeah, now that's been an amazing, of course everybody's kind of get used to moving between all three properties because you have Vdara and ARIA and Bellagio Classic. But then I guess the other thing I wanted to ask you about was you made some announcements and you've made some growth here in terms of where your members are coming from. And you've been expanding in Europe and Latin America and Asia and Australia and New Zealand. Where are you today with that expansion program, and what's your goal?
Well, our goal is to be, people have asked me about in the U.S., how many members is the right number of members? And the answer was always, there is no definitive number. It's about relative to the market potential. So whether it's, New York or Dallas, or whether it's, Shanghai, London, Sydney, or whatever, we look at the market penetration that our members have. So our intent is to be fully global. We only started Europe a little over a year and a half ago. We doubled the number. We now have 40 members in the EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And we grew by a huge percentage in Australia and New Zealand. We added agencies in Singapore and Hong Kong. And then we continue to grow in the U.S. and in Latin America. The thing that I'm the most excited about, though, is also that it's not just to grow through the acquisition of new members, it's also the growth of new advisors within our members. So in 2015, this network added 2,400 advisors globally. That's a big number. That was like that now have logins to Virtuoso.com. What was really impressive is of those 2,400, 57% of them were with existing members. So it wasn't, the rest of it was with others. So we're talking about a huge number of those. And so those are representing the career switchers and the new people. And if you were to ask me, what is the one single, if you could only pick one thing that you're the most proud of that you guys have accomplished, it is absolutely has to be the mentoring and acquisition of new talent. I mean, it's unbelievable the number of people that I met. I had a situation here that happened that is, and every year something like this happens, but I went to the Q&A session with the owners, and one of our members from Monterrey, Mexico came in, and he introduced me to his daughter, who had just finished college and had started like 2 months ago. And so she's here for the first time. Gave her the hug, the kiss. Then 5 minutes later, one of our members from Paraguay walks in. And she goes, oh, by the way, Matthew, I want you to introduce my daughter. She just finished her marketing MBA.
Right.
And she's just started 2 weeks ago with it. And so I literally said, okay, hold on. You come with me. Daughter meet daughter, parent meet parent. And that's so cool. And the number. We have another person that was here, Susan Huckster. She was the actual owner of the Le Manoir in one of the top hotels in South Africa, one of the top 15 restaurants in the world. So she was an owner of a boutique hotel. And she got an offer she couldn't refuse last year, sold her hotel. We've been friends for years. She and her son and another wonderful lady were here, and they're opening up Cartology Travel in South Africa. And you think about the contacts that she has. So that's pretty cool when you have a Virtuoso hotel owner who's basically starting a Virtuoso agency in South Africa, joining our ranks.
That is pretty amazing, both from the generational perspective and then the crossover people, turning to new careers within the travel advisor profession. Now, you also announced a number of new programs for your members, and we don't have enough time to list all the ones you do, but talk about maybe the top 2 or 3 that you think are significant advancements.
Well, I think that one of the most significant advancement is our hotel booking tool. Notice I didn't call it an engine.
Yeah, you don't like to call it an engine,
I don't like to call it an engine because if you look at everything that's been on the market, we did a lot of research. It would be, it would be a very fair question for you to say, why are you patting yourself on the back that you have a hotel booking engine?
Which a lot of other
when everybody else has had it for years, right? It's because we didn't do that. We could have gone out and white labeled and done all this. We actually built a hotel booking tool because the problem with the hotel booking engine is that it's a completely separate process from the advisor managed and assisted. Something goes wrong, et cetera. So what we did is we built a hotel booking tool that deals with one of the biggest issues that we've heard over the years, which is the please bother me syndrome, which is you have this great client and you do all their big fancy trips, but then all of a sudden, in fact, I'll tell you the story. We had a situation where a Virtuoso advisor shows up at, I think it was the Boulders or something in Scottsdale and runs into their clients at the pool. Now, these are like really fabulous clients. They've worked together for years.
They didn't book through that agent.
They didn't book through the agent, and like, hey, what happened? Oh, because I think they were in LA. From LA, it was like, oh, it was just a weekend trip, and I didn't want to bother you. Like 3 suites at the Boulders, for the weekend, whatever. It's like, please bother me. But the issue is availability. The issue is whatever. They probably woke up on a Saturday morning, decided it was last minute. They booked it. It was easy. They found a good rate. So what we've done is built a hotel booking tool that basically provides rates and availability of all the Virtuoso properties. It only displays the Virtuoso rates and availability that have the amenities, and then they can make the reservation, get the booking, but it automatically queues it into Sabre. Well, what that does, in fact, they can't even cancel it. So what that does is that you get the reservation, you get the room, but now it's completely handed over to the advisor, so that the advisor can look at it, send an email to the general manager, do all those things, and is fully in control of that. So the client gets the best of both worlds. They get the convenience as well as the full servicing of the advisor.
And these are all Virtuoso properties or preferred partner properties.
Yeah, we're not offering that. Those are the only ones this tool is working with.
Okay. Any other programs you really want to highlight here?
Well, I think actually, there's so many of them. I'm starting to have a hard time remembering. There
were quite a number of them. But so maybe we'll leave that for another time, another interview. But the hotel booking clearly was, is one of the big advancements, and you have been talking about that for quite some time, right?
Yeah, and to go with that, we did announce here that we have these what we call the personalizedvirtuoso.com. which basically is everything that's on Virtuoso.com, but personalized to either at the advisor level or at the branch level or the agency level. And what that does is it gives you all that functionality, but only with that person, and it's all mobile responsive and things like that.
And then you also have, obviously, the profiles that you have Virtuoso.com, and I assume that's going well, that you are getting most of your members to get on Virtuoso.com and get their profile and their everything on there, right?
Yeah, and what we do is we have this thing that we invented here called the Brilliant Bar that we've had for the last 2 years, and it's amazing. We have because it's not only about filling them out. We have people here helping them we have writers helping them with bios. We have professional photographers helping them with photography. So we create a lot of, we have a lot of support here because we had 2,500 advisors here. So it's a great opportunity. And those profiles absolutely do, the way people, the quality of those profiles, we see it in the analytics. And the other thing we help them with is our still unique reviews and recommendations, where the advisors that participate in the reviews, where their clients are reviewing them, they're getting that's very powerful as well.
Fantastic. Well, Matthew, again, it's been a great Virtuoso Travel Week once again. Congratulations. Bigger than ever, and a lot more content and much more than ever. Congratulations, and great to be here.
Thank you, James.
I'm James Schillinglaw for Insider Travel Videos.